What's up, everyone? It's your host, Ghost, coming to you live with another wonderful video. How is everyone doing today? Doing well myself. Back again, a little bit late. I had to do some stuff, help out a little bit. So I was having some trouble, busy doing shit. So I was just cleaning up and stuff. And yeah, so that's why I'm just a little bit late. Plus, I had to take out the dogs and shit. So So let's see. Man. Oops. So yeah, so we're back at it again. We're gonna check out the legal mindsets video on Rekieta's search warrant. So we're gonna check that out. We're gonna listen to his analysis. I thought he gave a very good analysis. So we're gonna check that out, and hopefully it'll be able to unconfuse my mind. So, alrighty then. Sorry, just fixing up my YouTube crap. Yeah. So, before I get started, make sure you follow me on X at officialwghosts. It's the best way to find out when I go live. You could also watch me live there as well. Rumble is, of course, rumble.com/withghost. That is the main channel. Twitch or YouTube is youtube.com/@withghost. And then Twitch is obviously twitch.tv/officialwithghost. The links are in the description. Make it easier for y'all. Yeah. And then let's see. Gaming channel. Rumble is Gaming with Ghost, and YouTube is at Official Gaming with Ghost. So got it everywhere. I Twitch, same name for Twitch and yeah, same name for that. Okay. So yeah, really got nothing else for you guys. We're just gonna dive into this, and I'll try and get it over with fairly soon. Closed captions not available, but we will still be doing it at 1.5 speed. And yeah, we'll hear Andrew's analysis. There appears to be a little bit of disagreement among Barnes and Viva with Legal Mindsets News. They've had a little back and forth about it, and we'll look into it. Little news in the Rekieta law land. It looks like Rekieta is going to do his first stream after, not right now, but his first stream coming back is going to be on the Kill stream. This is Ethan Ralph's stream. So I don't know. Maybe we'll check that out. Maybe we won't. I really could care less. But yeah. Yeah, I don't think I got anything else. We're just going to get into the video. So then I can go and spend some more time with my wife. But I really fucked up with my analysis this morning, so I kind of wanted to correct the record now. So that's why I am pushing myself to do this. Now, tomorrow, check out my show as we cover the closing arguments for the Trump trial, day 20. They finished closing arguments today, and then I think the jury is going to get their instructions tomorrow, and that's when the deliberation will begin, and it will be out of our hands at that point.
But
so
sometimes
we'll see. Who knows? Yeah. So anyways, let's get to it. Oh my fucking god.
It's so difficult. Okay, I think I fixed Rumble now. So Rumble should start up right now. Okay, cool.
So again, we're going to do this
and actually, let me go ahead for a second. Let me play something as I'm going to play a short little clip as I reset this. 1 second. But and actually, let me go ahead for a second. Let me play something as I'm going to play a short little clip as I reset this. 1 second.
But go fuck yourself. Is that clear? I hope it is. Hey, Bob.
Okay, cool. Should be good on Rumble. So for those on Rumble, hope you can see me. Hope everything's good. Sorry about that. Appreciate you. All right. Cool. So let's get into the document here. And this is the redacted version of the search warrants. So we got that right here. Now, the document itself is about, how many pages? We've got 11 pages, but of that, many of the pages are detailing items, so it's going to be a rather brief read-through. I'm just going to go ahead and read through it, and we're going to stop at some pertinent areas to talk, but mostly I'm going to be read-throughing it, and we may have to do a little rewinding as well. Okay, so this is obviously in Candiota County. People say I mispronounced that, but once again, you got a weird name.
I fucking mispronounce it. I say Candiota or whatever, so I bet Legal Mindset's a lot closer than I am.
It's going to get mispronounced. District Court, 8th Judicial District. This is an application for a search warrant by Quinn Pomplum. I'm not going to do a lot of humor here, but Quinn Pomplum is definitely a weird name for an officer. Here we've got a licensed peace officer in the state of Minnesota making an application to this court for a warrant to search the premises, and the person described below for the property and thing described below. I know that the content of this application affirm the statements contained in this application are true based on my own knowledge or believed to be true. I believe that the following described property and thing, namely controlled substances, including methamphetamine, cocaine, and or controlled substances prohibited by law, and paraphernalia commonly associated with sales and uses of controlled substances, items that would show controlled substance use that would not qualify as legal drug paraphernalia, is or are at the premises described as, and this is a residence. I have redacted the address, so the address is out now, but it is a tar driveway leading to 51st Street, 2 stories with a 3-stall garage. Main doors located on the south and southwest entrance. Nicholas Robert Rekieta, birthplace 12/16/1981 in the township of New London, Candiota, state of Minnesota. I apply for the search warrant on the grounds of possession of property, and property are things that can constitute evidence which show crime has been committed and tends to show a particular person has committed the crime. So they were going in, and now we're going to see other facts which lead to other crimes being implicated, but they were going in for drugs, right? So that's an important factor here. Let's continue here. So he's obviously a licensed peace officer, state of Minnesota since 2009. He's been employed by the sheriff's office since 2013. He's been assigned to the detective division full-time. He's focused on felony level crimes, including criminal sexual conduct, homicide, death investigations, missing persons, fatal car accidents, burglary, theft, harassment, stalking, assaults, controlled substances, child sex abuse material, and financial crimes. These are what he has experience in, okay? Not what they're suspecting. So this is just, he's an experienced cop.
Those pages there, to make it simple, is the I Love Me page. It's just the officer who's writing up the search warrant, just telling the judge about themselves, why they have this experience or all the experience they have, and basically you should trust my word because I love myself. But yeah, that's basically what this page is I love me. Let me tell you about myself. All right, it's like if you ever did a job interview and they're like, well, tell me about yourself. Tell me your experience and shit. You're just reading them your resume. That's all this is.
Cop who's done a lot of stuff. From 2013 to 2018, Affiant was assigned to the Candiota County Patrol Division for investigating street-level crimes.
Oh, so it's Affiant. Dude, I was pronouncing the fuck incorrectly. I was like affiliate or some shit like that. I was pronouncing this terribly. So Affiant. Okay.
Including driving under the influence, controlled substance, theft, burglaries, assaults, financial crimes, frauds, and domestic violence. From 2010 to 2013, he was employed as chief of police for Sacred Heart, Minnesota, which included administration, investigations, and patrol. So this guy has some experience. Hundreds of hours in crimes and investigation, property crimes, criminal sexual conduct, criminal interdiction, domestic violence, hate crimes, criminal sex abuse, active shooter, death investigation, aquatic death, elder abuse, vulnerable adult financial abuse, financial crimes, firearms, less lethal munitions, diversionary devices, chemical agents, cellular phone extraction, cellular tower investigations, and evidence collection. He's certified in firearm instruction, SWAT team leader, cell phone technology mapping and analysis, less lethal munitions, flash sound diversion, chemical agents instruction, DMT operator, boat and water, ATV, and snowmobile safety operator, Glock armor, Alice instruction, and former drug recognition evaluator. So that establishes his background. That establishes the fact that this guy has some experience, that he knows what he's doing, and that he is capable of performing this. So that's all established now. Let's continue scrolling down here. May 16th, Candiota County Sheriff Sergeant David Nestor received a report of possible child neglect. So this is why it's in the title. That's why I put that there. This is something that I think is one of the biggest bombshells out of this, is that this is not, before this, it was more speculation, but this warrant was not just for the factual basis, the facts underlying this was not just controlled substance abuse, but there was potential child neglect that was suspected. And this is something that's been speculated. This is something that was not really known before. People were saying one thing or another. Was this neglect part of the reason why they went in or not? And now we know, confirmed, that it was. Now, does that mean, once again, let me be very clear, and I'm going to say this, right? So Nick defenders, don't get your panties in a wad here. Nick is, of course, innocent until proven guilty. He has not been proven guilty of this. What this says is the search warrant was based on possible child neglect, right? Everyone is innocent until proven guilty, but the search warrant was based on these facts. So,
yeah, Andrew's going to get into this a little later. And he's made more sense to me. But yeah, so he's he's announcing this because it was the basis for the search warrant. Um, so that's why he's kind of covering it, and it was a big bombshell. I think I missed this part when I was reading it myself. I couldn't read it really well, so
That is that's pretty bad. And to me, this, in the analysis of this and in the public relations, having child neglect as on the table as one of the reasons here is going to be one of the most salacious.
it's a little funny. Not funny, but kind of fucking funny. It's so in the locals chat that Nick has, hold on, let me just bring it up. It was kind of funny. It's kind of fucked up, but also kind of fucking funny. Let's see. Okay. Here we go. So I'm just gonna. I thought this was hilarious, and it was kind of fucking funny, honestly. I'm sure Nick didn't find it amusing, but it was amusing to everyone else. All right. So right here, obviously, someone said the pie baker says, "Hey, at Rekieta Law, pays more attention to us than his own kids." Rekieta Law responds, "Joke or not, I'm going to block people who say shit like this." I mean, look, is it kind of fucked up to say? Yeah, absolutely, it's fucked up to say. But I mean, considering what we learned today and everything about it, it's a little funny.
Salacious details of
Seems to be a
all
little
of
accurate.
this case and of this arrest of Nick Rekieta, right? And this is something that I think is very damning from a brand management standpoint. I think this is something that Nick will feel very pressed not to react to. In fact, I might expect a reaction from him in public or in private on this.
Oh, we kind of see something along that lines.
Yeah. There's a lot of interesting stuff here. So let's continue with this document. Let's see here. He resides at, obviously the location redacted, in Candido County, resides at this residence with his wife, Kayla Christine Rekieta, date of birth 1984, and 5 children ages 6 to 16. So none of them are of the age of majority. They were all minors. Indicated 4 people from the church had gone to him reporting neglect of the children. Okay, so here it is, guys. This is another very, 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 very important detail here. Extremely important detail, okay? Because it wasn't just one person. It wasn't just one person who came over. And it wasn't just Aaron. It wasn't Aaron Imholtz, from what we can see. So the reporter, the person who came and turned this in, I do not believe from these details, I'm going to see later, there's details that support this. I do not believe this was Aaron Imholtz, who's one of these 4 people from quote unquote church. I don't even think Aaron Imholtz goes to the same church as them. Or goes to church at all, frankly. So these people from the church reported that to the mandatory reporter, who went in and delivered the report. They also talked about possible controlled substance use and a questionable relationship with an additional couple. Okay, so now that is something that we can talk about a little bit more. See,
yeah, I'm kind of mixed on this. I have been kind of making fun of it more now, but it's not really that important. Now, Andrew's highlighting the fact that it's like, he's saying it's important, just the fact that it was in the search warrant, just because it was mentioned in the search warrant. So it's kind of important there. It's like it's a fact, as in it's been reported as something. It's not really evidence of a crime or anything like that. It's just more so, now we can. I'm kind of speculative still about it. I just am. I haven't really seen any actual evidence, just gossip and hearsay. So I mean, it's kind of hard for me. I also really just, I mean, at the very least, it's just really bad look for Nick in general, just on a brand perspective, and everything like that. About not as bad as obviously neglect to the children, but it's still bad, especially when he was upholding himself as a Christian man, and he spent all this time saying, "No, we don't swing. No, we don't." Blah 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 blah.
Before, this was something that was totally irrelevant, the relationship with between Aaron Imholtz and April Imholtz and what was going on there. Now that's become part of the search warrant. Now it's something that we can talk about, and we have to talk about, because it is a factor that was put in the search warrant, right? Now we can say, okay, this is a fact that is actually being used. Now, Is it a crime to have a quote unquote questionable relationship? Right? No, but it plays in with the factors and how and the evidence they were looking at. So this is going to come up. This is going to come up because of that relationship and the social media they were putting out there, which, as I've said, and I say this so often in my coverage, not just of Nick Rekieta, but of VTubers, of Disney, of everything. Stuff you're putting on social media is a matter of public record. There's no interest in privacy to anything you're putting on the interwebs for everyone to view. So this is going to be very, very, very damning for them.
I mean, did people not really understand that? If you post it on the internet or at all, it's public. Like, do people not understand this?
Because of that nature of their jobs, because Aaron obviously is online and Nick is online as well. So Nicholas is a social media blogger. I would not call him a blogger. This is some boomer speak. I mean, to me, when I read that, I was like, what the fuck, blogger? People haven't blogged since the 80s and 90s. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Blogging? Come on. Blog's really outdated. And by the way, for your super chats, we will get to those. There's a point in this where I'll get to a pause and I'll get to those, and then we'll get to the rest of the document. So don't worry, we're going to get to those. We're just reading through the facts first. So thank you for your super chats and Rumble rants as well. Will all be read. So do appreciate that. Thank you very much. All right. So let's continue here. These individuals are identified. Oh, sorry. His wife Kayla had befriended hosts from a different local social media blogger. So Kayla was the one who befriended these folks, and those people are Aaron Imholt and April Imholt. So now they become relevant, Aaron Michael and April Imholt. So now the statements of Aaron Michael Imholt are looking a little bit more relevant. Let's continue. Affiant knows personally there are personalized the Steel Toe Morning Show, which used to be in St. Cloud, Minnesota. However, as of the recent years, the show has been a social media entertainment show strictly online. It was reported that the Imholts may have been staying with the Rekietas and their home was in disarray and cluttered. So this is a factor that is now reported. The cluttered and disarray of the Rekieta household has now been reported in several places, right? So you've got it in the investigation of the house, and you've got it in the search warrant as well. Now, as Steve Gosney said, this can be something that police just kind of routinely put in there. So, Steve said, hey, look, listen, don't put too much stock in it. But when it matches up in several areas, it doesn't start to look good. It matches up between the warrant and the statement of probable cause when they actually went into the house. So it's not a good look there. Clutter and disarray. And I think it says something for the public relations. Once again, there's the legal side, and then there's the view of the public where, Nick is, well, not having his house in order, right? It was reported by a church preschool
Yeah, I think another thing why I'm going forward with the, using legal mindset for this coverage and stuff, he's kind of hitting the nail on the head on both, not only the legal aspects, but also the PR aspects. And I think that's really important. It's something we forget a lot. I forget it a lot too. I mean, maybe, if Rekieta fights at home and was in disarray and cluttered, it'd be something to fight for a search warrant. But, when you look at the media aspect, the regular people aspect, and you see something like that, like from a normie person, it's like, well, you have a wife who's stay at home. Like, why isn't your house clean? It doesn't have to be spotless, but at least it should be clean, right? So why is your wife not cleaning the house? Why is your home in disarray and cluttered? Now, one could make the argument is like, well, they have 5 kids, everything's everywhere, but they're all of school age and they're off to school doing some sort of school activity or something like that, and you can't have your house cleaned. Like it just begs the question, is all.
Teacher. So this is very important. Now, this to me hits home, guys, because I don't know if you guys know this about me, and this is a fact that I talk about sometimes, and people who know me for a little longer. I was an assistant youth and children's pastor, and I did teach preschool. And I just think of the kids that I taught for preschool. I taught middle school, preschool, elementary school kids. And I just think if I saw kids coming in action, I don't know if I could put up with that.
Now,
I really don't know if I could put up with that.
I don't understand how the church works, okay? Something that's got me a little, questioning is a church preschool. Now, is this just like a church? I'm trying to figure that out, because church preschool teacher. I mean, if I remember correct, preschool was, kids younger than like 5 or, younger than kindergarten age. That would be preschool. So I don't know if it means church preschool teacher as in like before they go to school, somewhere they drop off and hang out. Because I know they homeschool and they co-op and all that stuff. So I am unsure about this because his kids age 6 to 16. Okay. So his kids are, should, at least his youngest should already be in regular school. I know they homeschool, they co-op and all that stuff where parents switch off teaching and whatnot. So I'm unsure about this preschool teacher thing for, a church preschool teacher. Maybe if I can Google that real quick. Hold on. Because whenever I think of preschool, even a church preschool, I think of, basically a daycare. Okay, so yeah, church preschool teacher is responsible for the academics and spiritual needs of the pre-K preschool classroom students. They are usually hired by churches and are responsible for a range of tasks, including developing lesson plans, assisting with fundraiser events, and leading church in educational activities. So yeah, it's kind of it's just a church version of the preschool. So I'm just confused. When it shouldn't have been like a regular teacher. Like, why are the kids interacting with a preschool teacher? I'm just trying to understand that really. Um, it's odd to me. Is all. Like it was the church preschool teacher just someone that passed by, noticed something, and was the first one to say anything about it, or something like that. That here, this line here just confuses me a bit. That's all.
It's just really tough. It's really tough to see. I mean, I remember even once I saw a kid and he got a black eye, but it wasn't because like he said it was a friend, but I'm like, it's not good. It's not good. Children had complained of being hungry, not well fed, and wearing the same clothes for 3 or 4 days at a time, which would start to smell. This fact, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be one of the most damning in terms of PR, in terms of everything else. And it shows that there's a basis in neglect of the investigation. Not
again, like when I first covered this, I think I glossed over this a bit. I wasn't really thinking. I was off my game and everything, and I was thinking everything from a legal perspective, as much as I could. And I was thinking, well, it's like, this is hearsay. This is what she says has happened. We don't really have any evidence of that. And again, when I watched through this video, kind of helped me understand it a little more. And even more than that, it's Andrew's pointing this out kind of made me realize, like, yeah, this is kind of fucked up, especially from a PR perspective. You're not, you got a church preschool teacher. Why would she lie in the first place? Like, why is she lying? Okay. And like, that's, I didn't think of that, but why would she lie or he lie, whatever? Why would that individual lie? And it's again, according to the document, the kids are complaining about being hungry, not being fed, and wearing the same clothes for 3 to 4 days at a time, and would start to smell. Like, again, even if this doesn't end up going terribly for Nick legally, from a PR perspective, it's going to be hard for him to kind of walk back from this. He would have to, like, for him to act. What would have to have happened is, they would have to go to trial. The kids would have to go on stand and say, no, this was untrue. I don't know why she said this. We've been fed plenty. Well, we wear different clothes. I have no idea why this lady said that. And then Nick could get some, could save some face. I don't think he's really having any contact with his kids. I don't know. So I know fucking Alex Stein decided to dox where his kids are at. I'm not going to do it. But so I don't know exactly. But like, again, from like, that would probably be the only way Nick could save any face. He would have to actually go to trial. His kids would have to be put on stand, put under oath, and have to say, no, this wasn't true. This person's lying. We never told her that we weren't hungry, that we were hungry. We were always well fed. We wore different clothes every day. I have no idea what she's talking about. That would have to, that probably is the only way Nick can get past this PR thing.
Just
so it's very, very it would be very difficult for him. And come on, this is like everyone's turning against him. I think even Uncivil Law was crying over this. Because it's pretty damning. Legal mindset, hits on the head too. And I think, I think I got all my anger at Nick last week when the news broke, because I kind of expected something like this, so it probably doesn't hit me that hard. So it's probably why I'm not so pissed off. But I have kids of my own, and there's no way in hell I'd let them be hungry, not being fed, and God forbid they'd wear like I wouldn't let them wear the same clothes just for 3 to 4 days. Like maybe 2 days if they didn't do much, but no, it's like 3 to 4 days. That's fucking ridiculous.
Substance abuse. That is a very important factor. That they're getting reports. And by the way, here you go. The children complained. This is not the teacher. This is not the teacher saying this. Oh, they look that way. No, the children are telling the teacher that they're hungry. Not
now. The thing that Viva and Barnes are pointing at is it's the teacher that is saying that it's the teacher saying that the kids are saying this to her or to him, whatever. So that's what they're kind of harping on. I mean, as a regular person reading it over again, it does make it doesn't look that way to me. I mean, like, is that possible? Is that a possible legal angle? Yeah, that's possible, but still, that's any normal person's gonna read this and read that. It's like, I mean, what again? Why would why would this church preschooler teacher lie? Like, you're gonna have to give me that. Like, you're gonna have to show me some sort of motive for the church preschool teacher to lie about this. And again, even if they are lying, the only way that Nick's going to save face is his kids are going to have to go on stand, or I guess another way is for him to put the or for his lawyer to cross-examine the preschool teacher, and they admit, no, I lied, I made all that up because I don't like Nick. That would be another way for him to save face. So he's got those
fed wearing the same clothes at the same time, that would start to smell. Right? That's the damning part here. Very, very damning. Nick was reported to be lethargic and appeared high and drugged, driving a car around. Not good, not good. Another individual advised that and reported that Nick would walk out randomly during sermons and notice behavioral changes in him. I know he's talked a lot about the Scandinavian prudes, and this can be the fact. Maybe this is kind of what he was. Maybe kind of what he was.
I have no idea what this whole Scandinavian prudes is talking about. I guess I really must have I never realized until like the search warrant, and I was listening to Legal Mindset talk about all this stuff. I never realized how much I checked out of Nick's streams, because I don't remember hearing any of this shit. I remember hearing like seeing him say one negative thing about the Judge Fisher. It's like the first, and that was the infamous stream, if I remember correctly. It's the first time I remember hearing him say anything negative about her. So I don't. So it's weird to me. It just it made me realize, and even I still noticed there was a drastic change going on with him when I actually watched the videos. Because normally I just because Rumble you can do a playback, or you can play and then jump out of the app and then go do your spend your day and shit doing anything else. So I didn't really pay attention. So, but even then, I was like, this, I at least noticed, and like I must have noticed subconsciously, because I stopped really checking out the show and watching other shows that were on at the same time, or listening to a book, because most of the show ended up just randomly like he'd be talking to the chat and going off on tangents every 30 seconds, and it's like, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's like, dude, it's like I came to you to hear to what you want to talk about, and now we're just taking like an hour to listen to you talk about random shit. Like, I really wanted to hear his perspective on the Supreme Court arguments for what's it called, for Trump's immunity. And he just like he rambled on one topic and then spent like 50, like just only 30 minutes on it, and said he'd talk about it later and never fucking did. So it was kind of annoying. I should check out someone else's channel, see what they thought.
Church were looking at him weird, because they were noticing behavioral changes. He was walking out randomly during sermons to to God knows what or for what reason, right? Kayla looked anorexic and Nick lost substantial amount of weight. So it's probably, Nick's complaining about the church and his railing about the church and the pastor is probably related to the fact that they were noticing him. So it was probably related to the fact that they were noticing him. So these things are linked, and we're going to be able to link up, and I'm sure that it's already going to be done. I'm sure the Farms is already on it, right? Of linking up these facts, right, with video. So Nick is bitching about the prudes and the church and, the message and all this stuff. And the issue wasn't the service. The service probably didn't change very much. To be honest, churches don't change. It was Nick that was changing because he was diving, according to these allegations, deeper into addiction. One individual described Nicholas as having injection or track marks on his arm. Now, this links up, and this factor is what may be linked up with the brown substance, which I am hoping, I mean, if it is heroin, but that would be the injection or track mark side. Because so far we've only...
Yeah, so if you didn't know, there was reports that there was some brown liquids, unidentified brown liquid. Yeah, that's, people are saying it's heroin. We don't really have a confirmation. We'll find out when the lab tests come back. I'm sure that will pop up, but yeah, so that'd be really troubling if it turns out it is heroin. Fucking Nick, you're done. You can't say anything else, man. Like, there's not only is the search warrant reporting it, but the news reported it as well, and it's ridiculous.
Had evidence presented, right, or rather allegations presented of cocaine and ketamine. They found cocaine and ketamine, at least based on the field test, tested positive for cocaine. And there was also pills that were identified as ketamine. And then there's an unidentified brown substance, which will be subsequently identified, right? So that may be what's there. Now, that's speculation still, has not been confirmed, but that's where that factor may play in. The reporter reiterated concerns about possible neglect and or controlled substance abuse. This is why, I mean, we were all expecting the second part, the controlled substance. But the fact that the reporter based this on possible neglect is the reason why this was not a knock, knock, knock on the door. Why it wasn't this was not a knock on the door, because it was not just controlled substance abuse. It was neglect plus. It was neglect plus. So when you do this analysis, you do have to consider that as a factor. So when we're looking at Fourth Amendment, does it stand up under the Fourth Amendment? You have to factor that in as well. The Affiant started to review the Rekieta and Emold social media blogs. Okay, now let's just say something real quick. Before today, this was pure speculation. And you guys know I don't engage in speculation. I wait for the facts. And you know what? I'm going to admit this, guys. I'm going to admit this, and I'm going to make it. This is a confession. Sometimes waiting for the facts can prevent you from being right. Because if you take a guess, if you speculate, you're sometimes right. Sometimes when you speculate, you're right. And was this a potential scenario I could have imagined in speculation? Yes. But did I want to do that? No, I did not. I did not want to speculate. But now that we have this document, it's no longer speculation. They were looking at Nick's. They were looking at Nick's videos. And they saw what many people saw. They saw what many of the people that were critics of Nick saw. They saw evidence of abuse, of substance abuse. The blogs are related to legal issues in high-profile trials, as Nicholas is a licensed attorney. Nicholas is known to drink alcoholic beverages excessively on these video blogs. I immediately noted that Nick's appearance in the recent months have changed. Guys, this is extremely relevant. Because we saw that as well, but a lot of people said, oh, it's because you're paying too much attention, because you watch all the time, because you're jaded. But what right now we're finding out is that a casual observer, someone who doesn't even know Nick at all and looks at it, would look at it and say he doesn't look well.
Yeah, that's a really good point that Mindset just pointed out, was like, a casual observer is able to see this downward spiral. And we all could see it. I think a lot of us like maybe lied to ourselves and thought, oh, it's just the alcohol. But when you sit back and, you're like, all right, well, there was cocaine in this house. And you think back and you're like, God damn, the facts were there and we just didn't see it.
I'm yelling because this is a very important fact. It's an important fact that a casual observer, a reasonable person, would look at Nick and say, this guy doesn't look right. And this is why you're seeing streamers all over the internet, all over YouTube, say they're looking at Nick and he doesn't look good. This was something that was maybe a speculation or people were debating it. Now it's because of this and because you're using it as evidence. We got to say this is a factor. People are looking at him and people does not look good. That look good. Let's continue here. This is rough, guys. This is really rough. In videos from January 2024 compared to May, so this is a 4-month period, Nick appears to have lost weight. He appears tired and strung out. substance users. Nicholas commonly refers to his studio as his basement in his own residence. Nicholas has been the victim of swatting phone.
I keep trying to remember. It's like, when did I really stop paying attention to Nick's streams? And I want to say it was 6 months. Might have been 4. But no, yeah, 6 months, 6 to 4 months, 4 to 6 months. I stopped checking out his videos, stopped really watching because he just would ramble on. So I mean, the timeline kind of matches up in my head. Like, and again, I don't know how long, when he started doing the drugs to when he stopped doing the drugs. I don't know. I really don't know. There's apparently allegations. The whole swinging and drugging has been going on for somewhat a while. I think. I really don't know. I'm out of it. Like, I see the steel toe guy, Aaron. He's talking about everything, but I don't pay attention to what he says because all he says is a bunch of stuff, and there's nothing to that really backs up. And it, for all I know, he's just an angry dude who, he lost his wife, and now he sees an opportunity to get back at, Nick for providing her sanctuary. For all I know, I really don't know. I really don't know. So I haven't been paying attention. So I don't know when this whole swinging stuff really started happening between the allegations of swinging. I mean, I don't think it mentioned. I don't think it mentions it in this affidavit. We'll see.
Calls, and is known to Urifiant in the Candiota County because of these calls. When they responded, they were at this location. So Nick's been swatted. Now, look, I don't support swatting, even against bad people. So just understand that. No, like, people shouldn't be swatting people even if you don't like them. Swatting can lead to very bad outcomes. Not just dogs getting shot, but people. So not a fan of that. It's not cool, even if Nick is a piece of shit, right? Even if that's there. Not really cool, but he's been a subject to that. So obviously I knew who he was. While reviewing Imholt's social media blogs, Aaron recently indicated that he and April were getting a divorce. Okay, so the divorce arc is now part of the legal record. So Aaron Imholt getting a divorce is now something that is material to this. Aaron goes on to say that he experimented with cocaine 3 times and Molly 6 times in the recent past. So cocaine. So he's talking about coke and Molly. So the evidence there is Aaron has done this. The Imholts broadcast a podcast from the Rekieta studio with podcast saying live from Spicer. This is the Steel Toe Morning Show 12/19/23. Throughout the Imholts video blogs, it's apparent that they and the Requietas were friends and recently may have had.
So I guess the supposed allegations, of the swinging, happened. At least starting a year ago. Well, a little over. Oh no, yeah. So that only started. So yeah, So I say I lost interest about 4 to 6 months, roughly. So it would fit the time frame.
Falling out. It also showed that in the recent videos of the Imholts, April has at times appeared tired, lethargic, and strung out as well. So April not looking good in those videos, and this is a tangible. This is a tangible fact. In both the Nicholas and Imholt's video blogs from Rekieta's studio, it is apparent that they are in the same room and those items in the background appear the same. At one point during the Imholt's videos, Nicholas walked in the background and grabbed an item, which would show the item is not the backdrop curtain, but was that layout of the actual room. So this is the level of detail that cops are thinking about. They're literally mapping out his studio through his videos. On 5/22/2024, Imholt did a video blog where he talked about Nicholas and insinuated controlled substance use and referred to a video blog that Nicholas put online on 5/21. So these are all very recent, guys. 5/21, 5/22. This is what really kicked this off. Imholt indicates in this blog that Nicholas needs help, and he needs help to get the kids because of his substance abuse. So Aaron Imholt's claims were considered by police. Now this is something that is stringing together and making more sense. Now, let's be clear. Was it Aaron Imholt going to...
Now, before he gets into this, something to point out, too, is the fact that I believe, if I'm incorrect, the whole confession stuff happened like a week prior to all this. So I mean, so it does question, like, why did it take him a week to check in the neglect? But again, for all we know, they did a wellness check, saw something weird. But I guess they would put that in the search warrant, wouldn't they? I don't know. If they did a wellness check, I guess maybe they heard child neglect, and that could have been someone, like a patrol could have gone over and looked at it, I guess, and and then the separate guy was, got the controlled substance part and started doing his own investigation. And it could be a 2 separate thing. I have no idea.
The police know it was what he put on social media. So it is Aaron Imholt did not go snitched on him. His social media snitched on him. Imholt points out at the time where Nick has a white powdery substance on his nose. So guys, in case you haven't seen this, and this is something that's been brought up, Josh Moon of the Farms brought this up on Maddie, on his Mad at the Internet. You can see here in this video, if you look at this one right here, and this is an Alyssa Clips video, which I'm sure will get a lot of views after this. You can see right there on that tip of that horn, a white dot. Can you guys see that?
Kind of see it.
You guys able to see that? The white dot right there on the tip of his nose? You guys all got that? That is something that the police thought was relevant. So this is a factor, guys. The streams that you guys watched, the streams that many of us watched, or the clips of, because I saw the clip. I didn't watch this whole stream. I frankly, guys, for me, watching Nick Rekieta descend into substance abuse was something I didn't want to watch. It is sad. I have too many
for me personally, I didn't really recognize it as substance abuse till recently, obviously. But I remember, like, there's at least some downward spiral. And I was like, dude, this is, I'm really tired of watching this. He just rambles on and shit like that. And again, I normally just put it on and then put it in my pocket. I don't really watch the videos. So I may have missed a lot of things. But yeah, I don't remember. I just remember I just was... I just remembered that I just got tired of the rambling, not really getting to the topics, taking forever, just yammering on. So I remember that clearly.
Friends, I have too many people that I've known, even family members that have gone this route. I can't watch whole streams, but I watch the clips.
I don't even watch
and this is fucking sad. And this man ended up having his ability as a father come into question.
Rightfully
his family life come into question, his marriage come into question, and now his entire career and even his personal life and liberty. And it was streamed for everybody to see, and now it's being used as evidence in court. It will be used in evidence in court against him. And the worst thing too is, and I'm going to tell you this because, guys, we'll talk about this after this, and I'm not going to dox the DMs, but I'm going to tell you something that I know right now for a fact because I'm actually just looking at it right now. Nick is flipping out right now in private. And he is, I'm watching some DMs right now. He's going fucking nuts. Nick is going nuts. And I would expect that Nick may make some statements, which he probably shouldn't make, and they go live. But I'm watching him right now live. As we're speaking, I'm poking my eye over. He's going fucking crazy. Let's continue though. Your client was able to review the video and was taken off.
This really breaks my heart, all this stuff. I love Nick like for forever. But like after seeing all this stuff and listening to this affidavit and having it kind of explained a little better in my head, it's really sad. And he absolutely deserves to have his fatherhood questioned. You're doing coke, all right? And there's Dick, and Dick's he's being a friend, I guess, and he's trying to defend Nick, and he's talking about, you're getting mad at him because he's doing a substance that comes from the ground, blah, 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 blah. Okay, well, let's say, he does do it. Let's say, for the sake of argument, all this shit is true. Should you really be defending him at this point? Okay. Like, cocaine's a drug. All right. Whether you, here's the thing, too. Whether you agree with it to be legal or whether it should be legal or illegal or anything, regardless of how you stand on it, it is illegal. So you probably shouldn't be fucking doing it, especially when you have kids. It's fucking ridiculous. But I get why Dick is trying to, he's running back for him. He's just trying to be, there for him and all that stuff. But sometimes you just gotta be like, bro, what's going on here? Well, maybe he's defending him in public and chastising him in private. That would be something that Dick Masterson would do.
Nicholas' YouTube and Rumble social media sites. The video is from 5/21/2024 and is of Nicholas in his basement studio talking about court appeals ruling he lost. He appears in the video to be drinking alcoholic substances and eventually appears under the influence of a substance or substances. The entire video blog is 4 hours and 4 minutes long. Approximately 2:46 into the video, Nick leaves to go use the restroom. When he returns at 2:50 and 2 hours and 50 minutes and 40 seconds. So literally, guys, literally.
I will point this out. It's just something random. Hold on.
This is the exact moment we just showed you. Your affiant, when he returns, he appears to make an excited look and has a white powdery substance on his nose. So he went to go do a line. Is what the implication is there. Not good. Not good at all. And by the way, guys, thank you for the memberships. Mike So for the 5 Legal Mindset memberships. Do appreciate that. Thank you, Pi Baker, for becoming a member. And thank you for on here for the 1 membership. Appreciate you guys real quick. To shout the members. All the super chats, I'm going to get them in a second. This is bad. Your affiant believes his behavior is indicative of central nervous system stimulants. Your affiant believes, based on the training experience as well, the behavior of Nicholas, that he ingested this white powdery substance through his nasal cavity while off camera. So they're using deduction to say, hey, Nick probably snorted cocaine.
Cocaine.
Your affiant knows the training experience that the ingested controlled substance through the nasal cavity is a common amongst controlled substance users and referred to as snorting. The affiant also noted that throughout the video, Nicholas is so under the influence of a substance to the point where he has to close one eye to read his screen, rambles, and slurs his speech. So Nick's speech, Nick's presentation, Nick's decision, and let me tell you guys this. Nick's decision to stream fucked up had consequences.
Yeah.
Nick's decision to stream fucked up had consequences. Now, Nick can be completely, let's say magical worlds, right? Magical world. That Nick is able to beat these charges through for them. He's still got to go hire a lawyer, fight this, get it out. And the brand damage is permanent. This is going to be permanent damage to Nick, to his reputation, to his career, right? It's over. I mean, you can't.
Yeah. Again, a lot of stuff. I mean, he's going to have to. He's going to have to go to court. He's going to have to go on trial. If he takes a plea at all, then there's no way he's going to get any reputation back whatsoever. But if he actually goes to court and wins his trial, then he could get his reputation back. Like he's going to have to prove, like, in court that, he didn't do some lawyer trickery, but he did some sort of, like, he's got the government to admit or at least allude to planting that's somewhat convincing. He's gonna have to get that preschooler or his kids to go on the stand and say, no, this here is a lie. I think a lot of people could excuse the cocaine use. I don't think a lot of people are going to excuse any child neglect, and I think that's what a lot of people are having issues with. So yeah. Yeah, so yeah, like I said, it really just depends on what Nick does. Like I said, if he does a plea, that's it. And, his reputation's kind of done at that point. He'll probably still have a few people, maybe some people will come back after his redemption and stuff, but there's gonna be a lot of hate on him. His viewer counts are gonna go down and all that. For him to gain his reputation back, he has to go to court. He has to go to court and show all the evidence that this is. What I got, apparently he's going with the government narrative is the lie, is what he's going with. So he's going to have to prove that.
Draw this back in. He can improve his life. He can get sober, all that stuff. That's sure. But these facts will always be out there. And he made the decision to get on and to stream while he was one eye, slurring, intoxicated. This is why you shouldn't do it.
Yeah, if you saw that infamous stream, the dude looked fucked up, like really fucked up. Like he was like, I mean, at one point it looked like he was jacking off, but he was looking like rough, and I was like, God damn, dude, what are you on? And I was like, God damn, what are you on? And I missed most of that stream. I just popped on at one point. I was like, dude, what the fuck, dude? I was like, what? And then I saw the infamous clip, and God.
And trying to defend streamers that are streaming super intoxicated, I think you can see here, is just fucking dumb. Don't do that. It will be used against you. Nick would obviously
another thing too, which is interesting. I want to point this out is Lady Rackets had a YouTube channel, and it has been a long time since she's done anything And actually, you can't really find her YouTube channel anymore. And, you know, based on what she looks like from her based on what she looks like from her mugshot, there's apparent reason why. Like Nick's trying to tell us, like, don't believe your lying eyes, but we're seeing what Lady Rackets looks like at the most. Like she last time I saw her, and I don't really pay that much attention, but last time I saw her did not look like that. She did not look like her mugshot.
Not be able to care for his children in this state of intoxication. So now, once again, we're looping back to the neglect. So neglect as on the basis of the search warrant. It should be noted that your client was a drug recognition evaluator for several years, and based on his training experience, the behavior of Nicholas in his video blog indicates polysubstance use, meaning he was ingesting more than one substance, both excited and nearly passing out. This is a consistent behavior of both CNS stimulants and depressants, CNS being including cocaine. So for those that don't know, CNS includes cocaine.
Cocaine.
Right? So this is very clear. Very, very clear. And I think most of us that watch that objectively and had seen people, it was pretty clear there was, we don't know it, but I watched that video, so there's a clear substance. Anybody who's known anybody on substances knows how they look. Your affiant believes that the reports of neglect and controlled substance use are consistent with the previously mentioned information. Your affiant is requesting to search for the above listed items in relation to the welfare of the children in the home and in relation to the controlled substance investigation. Your affiant is also requesting to search Nicholas Rekieta. So this was enough. This was the basis for the warrant. That's the basis for the warrant. I request a search warrant to be issued commanding Quinn Pomplum, Robbie Barnes, Nick Ardoff, Dave Nestor, Rob Twett, peace officer, state of Minnesota, and any other authorized person to enter and search between the hours of 7 a.m. and 8 p.m., search the premises described under law, and submit the results to a forensic laboratory. So we're going to get the results from the lab as well. So down here, once again, giving the search warrant, Quinn Pomplum, Robbie Barnes, Nick Ardoff, Dave Nestor, Rob Twett, whatever, to search his address, redacted, for controlled substances, including methamphetamine, cocaine, controlled substance prohibited by law, commonly associated with sales and use of controlled substances, items that show controlled substance use, and drug paraphernalia. Now, I know what you're saying, and let me talk about this. Why doesn't this part talk about neglect? Well, you're not going to search the house for neglect. Neglect is the underlying fact. So neglect was a factor here, but you're not searching the house for properties. Neglect is not a property or thing. So it wouldn't be included under this section. So they're searching the house for controlled substances, items that show substance abuse, but they're also going to document factors such as signs of potential neglect. So the court found that probable cause exists for the issuance of a search warrant. This is what we saw. We saw the statement of probable cause. We've already seen that. We've already read that. We've already reviewed that. Go back to the previous stream. Possession of property of the above constitutes a crime. Property or things of the above constitute a crime, which tends to show crime has been committed and tends to show a particular person has committed a crime. They have reason to believe, probable cause exists to believe that the above property or things are at the premises or on the person of Nicholas Robert Rekieta. So this is a good one. Somebody asked this question, did they have a warrant for just the house or for also the person? The answer was actually both. The answer was actually both. They had a warrant to search the premises and the person of Nick Rekieta. So here we go. These authorized people were authorized to enter between 7 a.m. and 8 p.m. And I think we're going to get down to the inventory. But before we get to the inventory, before we go here, let's get to the super chats. Let's answer some super chats here. Let's do that before we go on with this and continue today. We'll start in numerical order. White Alakazam says, been following Nick since Vic's depots. Nick changed my political views. Show be God and a love for legal. Pat being cursed. He's like the dark pope. Saying right now, everything is bullshit. I know who reported it. It's better for them. It's better for them to accept it now because they're going to look really bad if they continue to cope. They're going to look really, really bad. And they don't have to come out. Look, we're doing this as a legal analysis, an objective analysis. They don't have to say he's guilty. Nobody has to say he's guilty. He's not guilty, guys. Factually, Nick Rekieta is not guilty. Nick Rekieta is not guilty. But this is damning. This is damning, right? He's still not guilty. Legally, he's not guilty. It's a fact. And people say, yeah, true, yeah. This is not looking good, though. Could he still have a plea deal? Sure, he could have a plea deal. He could have a plea deal. But he's not guilty at this moment. It's not looking good. We're going in order. Once again, we're going in order from high to low. Piebaker said, legal mindset, clarification on the inside satanic sex cult hat. Nick claimed that was what his fans gifted him, and the unbreaded Pope hat was. If the allegation is true, he has 2 cursed items. Okay, that's a little bit of funny. I find the Sonichu medallion theory pretty funny, but okay, the Pope hat being cursed. He's like the dark Pope. Dragon's Treasure said for $10, his lines have been crossed.
So I want to show something. Okay. This is why there's a lot of belief in going on about here. So this is Nick's Instagram page. All right. So we're gonna focus on his wife. This is his wife here. So what she looks like. Let's see, October 9th of 2022. So roughly a year or so ago. Okay. Here's how she looked October 31st, 2022, December 7th, 2022. Here's how she looks March 13th, 2023. Now, this is roughly close to the timeline when all this happens. You can kind of see it looks like she's becoming a little sunken. She looks all right in here. Okay. And then you can kind of see even more, this was back in March. She's starting to look a little anorexic-y. She's not, she's looking a little bad now. So you can kind of see it. Now, I just want to, so we got to look at what she looks like now. So let's see. Damn, I can't get a good fucking image of the god. Okay, here we go. That'd be better. So we saw how she looks now, or it looked, not too long ago. God, that's not a good picture either. Why am I going on Google? I should go on Twitter. It's probably there. There we go. That's a better picture. So we just saw how she looked like prior. Now, that's what she actually kind of looks better in this one. Fuck. It's not look like how she looked like before. Yeah, there we go. Maybe that's it. So it's like she just looks different. Like she looks so goddamn different. It's kind of crazy, honestly. So that's another reason why Nick's claim that the government's lying to you doesn't hold much water in this case, unfortunately. As much as that breaks our hearts.
Very angry, hate-filled video coming. Dude, Dragon's Treasure, you and I are friends, and we've spoken a lot, and I feel the same way you do about a lot of this, and I'm also watching Nick behind the scenes right now. Random person whining on him. It was his own kids. Guys, here's the legal fact that's damning for him. His kids. And now the statement of his kids is going to come into play.
Now, again, we're basing this off of the teacher telling the cop that the kids complained to her. That's what we're basing off of. Again, you're going to have to show me some proof of why they would lie, why the preschool teacher would lie. Also, why is the preschool teacher, talking to them? There's a lot of questions I have here. And all that.
I mean, that's
another question I have is why they knew to go straight into, because it seems like by the reports they knew where to go and went straight into the bedroom. That's what it seemed like.
It's a damning fact that his kids' own statement. Let's go back here. I mean, some people think you guys maybe tuned in. We're 8,600 people, guys. So let's rewind here. So you guys don't think I'm making this shit up. Here it is in the warrant right here. His kids complained. Okay? His kids complained to the preschool teacher. That's the part that is the most damning. It wasn't the preschool teacher looking at it and Nick's theory, right, which he's saying in DMs right now as I speak, as I peek over into the DMs, right? He's claiming it was somebody who snitched on him, but it was his own. It appears to be his own kids. It appears to be his own kids. And I'll keep that over here as we go here.
We're really surprised those DMs have not been leaked yet. I'm not gonna lie, because they have their own little private chat. I'm surprised that has yet to be leaked.
So appreciate that. Floral says his own kids could have told the church for help. That's what they did. Floral. $5 super sticker from Leprechaun. Go appreciate you. Your thoughts on Aaron Imholte, April's husband, commenting on Nick with the alleged dealings with Nick. Seems like he could be a potential witness. My feelings on April Imholte are mixed. Always a possibility, right? But that's not what you would factor into reasonable doubt. Right? Own actions fucked him over as a streamer. And as
I'm skipping through all the super chats, so we don't have to listen to him read super chats. I think they were all just mashing Nick. There were some good questions. This next one is a good question.
A churchgoer, as a husband, and it appears as a father.
As the leader of his household, he fucked up.
$2 super sticker, thank you. Gold. What is the difference between a tangible fact and the other? Something that there's a basis for, right? So I think about like reasonable doubt, right? Reasonable doubt. Aliens descending upon Earth is always a possibility, right? But that's not what you would factor into reasonable doubt. Right? A miracle is not would not factor into reasonable doubt. That you have information to base something upon, not just wild speculation. What is the difference between a tangible? Okay, no, got the one. LCBL Anime Guy says, sounds like revenge by Aaron because his marriage fell apart and wanted someone to blame other than himself and saw coincidences he couldn't get Nick in trouble with. Maybe. I think the marriage was probably a big instigator. I think the man, according to all reports, it appears the man was essentially cucked. So it appears that Nick Rekieta may have slept with his wife, and even in this thing, they talk about a questionable relationship. So there's that, right? So obviously, when you're in a situation where you may have been a man who was essentially cucked, I mean, your wife is divorcing you, and she said in public records, which we now know, according to this, because all of this has been used, it's probably on record that Aaron Imholte cannot give his wife an orgasm. That's on the record. That in a weird world, the fact that Aaron Imholte cannot make his wife come is now a fact that is analyzed by police.
Shit. I've never saw that, never heard of that at all until I saw this video. But how embarrassing is that shit? You can't get your wife to come? That's embarrassing.
So that's there, right? Just saying. It's now relevant. They've looked at this. They said they analyzed that stream. So that's now a fact. Before it wasn't. Now it is. Riley Leifson says it's obvious that you're loving every second. Lawyer Giddy, try reading a little more dramatic. Enjoying someone's downfall is not cool. I don't know what you're trying to imply here with your caps locks and everything else, but and whether or not you think I'm relishing in this, okay, bro,
try and
cool
play
story.
Back time.
I can say this: I've spent more time with Nick Rekieta and seen him more than you have. I've interacted with him more than you have. So my reaction to that's going to be definitely different than random follower or two. The Professor legal mindset. Now you have my mom as a finish watching right next to you. Awesome. Well, welcome, Professor Keenan. I hope you guys are enjoying this coverage. Once again, I try to be as objective and evidence-based as possible. Now we're getting a lot of extra evidence. Western civilization will Nick end up in a small partner like Kurt from Uncivil Law? I don't know what'll happen to Nick. That's really interesting for Nick. It really is. Brett Wolf is Barnes is going nuts. X calling the Warrant bogus for the stream content. It's come out calling Sean's coverage. They know what should hire him. It's getting weird in this year. So how about this? As soon as we finish, we will cover Barnes's coverage. Right? We'll cover Barnes. We'll cover his, and I'll see what he's talking about over here. I see it right here. This is actually kind of insane. Nelix says, are there any conditions on Nick seeing his kids? Listen, we don't know at this point. I don't think so, though. I think I have to go back and look at the bail. But I think he can see his kids. Pretty sure. Keno talked to Aaron 3-hour video. Yeah, I know they talked to Aaron. Once again, I find probably of what Aaron says, maybe 90% of it's true, but there's definitely some puffery, as we call it in the industry. Tech Daddy says, even if a person reported has issues with Nick, does it legally matter now after the fact that they've all been found? Even if a person has issues with Nick. No, it doesn't matter whether they have beef with Nick or not. It doesn't matter. Because if the facts are true, it doesn't matter if the person didn't like Nick.
So real quick here. Just going to read a little ad here. Get ready for an unforgettable experience. This June, join us for the premiere of Protocol 7, a true whistleblower story about Big Pharma and the latest film by Andy Wakefield. Don't miss the exclusive chance to see it. Okay, let's go. Chance to see it. See it first and join Andy and the filmmakers for a live Q&A after the screening. Mark your calendars for May 31st and June 1st in New York City and June 14th and June 15th in Los Angeles. Tickets are going fast, so grab yours today. Witness the film first. Visit www.protocoli7. Oh, no, so I said that wrong. Protocol7.movie. I said it wrong the first time. Now to secure your spot. That's it. So, again, visit www.protocol7 in .movie now to secure your spot. And that's going to be posted in the chat if you're interested. Say complete, goddamn it. Cool. I made 60 cents, guys. Woo! America. There's just a little ad reads you can do with Rumble Studio. Apparently, I've gotten enough views I can do this shit.
That's irrelevant. That's irrelevant. Like, if Nick's children were actually starving, and this is worth yelling. I know people, why are you yelling? This is worth yelling. If Nick's children were actually starving, hungry, dirty, wearing the same dirty clothes, if that was true, if it's true, the specific animus doesn't matter worth a damn. The specific, whether someone didn't like them, like I always never liked them. Well, maybe they didn't like him for a good fucking reason, right? Maybe they didn't like him for a good reason. Maybe they had a bad feeling, and that bad feeling was right. Guess what? Sometimes our gut feelings are right. Humans are social creatures, and we often evolve in where we did, really, we adapted to be able to detect bullshit. And when we see other people and detect bullshit, sometimes our radar goes off. And also, I'm going to say this, everyone thinks I'm a misogynist. I bet that most teachers are women. Women are very good at detecting lies, better than men. So while Nick may have thought that, oh, nobody can tell anything, nobody knows, you would be surprised.
I'm a misogynist too. I keep calling the teacher a woman as well.
How well people can spot lies, and people can read through the bullshit, and people can look at it and say, I'm seeing all these details, I'm noticing these facts. It's facts. It's facts. It's my girl, Rated Staring over here. What's up, Christina? Good to see you, bro. It's truth. It's truth. Let's see here. Jesus says, even Goblin mode doesn't excuse the impact on the poor kids. They should be in front of all this. Peter Bocan, I heard that Nick is a knack for self-sabotaging. Long time was that. Every single person that came on that knew that I was going to do that objectively, and I told them all. I warned them. I said, we're only talking about the law. Don't get into your fucking people of the chat. How many of you think that he was strung out? Look good. His appearance changed. A reasonable person can conclude that Nick is fucked up. Cover my own topics. This is why I hang out in the pop culture sphere.
There you go.
So I'm not afraid of that. And number two, I don't give a fuck what people say about me. I don't give a good goddamn, right? Listen, I'm a factual based person. I'm an evidence based person. I'm state what happens. I don't care what people say in forums or corners of the internet. I'm going to keep reporting things the way I report it. If you like it, tune into my show, like and comment, which please like the video. If you like this recording, if you like this type of coverage, if you think I've done a decent professional job on this, if you think I've upheld a certain level of professionalism, I would hope you like the video and maybe just leave a comment. Thank you for your coverage on this. I would appreciate that, but I'm not afraid of what other people think about me. Fuck that. And by the way, that's why a lot of the law tubers, I'm going to say this. I'll say this. That's why a lot of those law tubers were scared to say anything, because they're scared of the friendship arguments, the Barnes type arguments, which I'm just reading this now. We're going to get to the Barnes stuff after. We're going to read the Barnes stuff. So don't worry. We're going to get to Barnes, okay? Because he's flipping out. And he's getting into potentially defamatory territory, right? They're afraid of their little circle jerk. This is why I cover my own topics. This is why I hang out in the pop culture sphere. I hang out with people like Midnight's Edge, like Valiant, doing Disney coverage. This is why I do VTuber coverage. This is my own shit. I don't hang out with these people and do the law tube circle jerk, right? It hasn't been something I've done. The first time I've had those guys on for a panel in a long time was that. And every single person that came on that knew that I was going to do that objectively. And I told them all, I warned them. I said, we're only talking about the law. Don't get into your fucking bullshit friendship speeches. Steve Ghazi tried to start it. And Steve's my friend. And I told him, you heard me live. I said, don't start that friendship bullshit. We're not doing that in this channel. We're not doing that. You can go on your own channel and you can do your little friendship is magic speech. Not fucking here. Not today. Not on my channel. We're not doing it. Sigrun for 50 said, I think the problem is, even if we accept the premise this Warrant is bogus, there's a lot of things that nail him on anyways. There are people who will use it to hate on him anyways. There are people who think Rittenhouse shot 3 black people and let off. Yeah, here's the thing. Even if he gets out of this, the streams look bad to a reasonable person. The cop used the fact, let's go down here.
And like I said, when I go back and think about it, I'm like, yeah, something seemed to have happened. Something seemed to be going on.
That Nick, in his videos, appears to have lost weight, tired, and strung out. He doesn't look good. His appearance changed. A reasonable person can...
Also, he was rambling a lot. He'd go off in long-ass tangents, longer than usual. He seemed couldn't stay on topic for the life of him. It's another thing.
Conclude that Nick is fucked up.
Oh, and if you don't think all those videos, those clips of the streams are not going to be shown, oh, they are.
This is now a fact. Nick was, and this is something that is relevant, is that if you pulled a jury and you showed them Nick's stream, because by the way, they're now going to show that clip. The clip, the clip of Nick doing the DSP thing, they're going to play that in court. What do you think what do you guys think? I'm going to put it in the chat. We'll see how many we have, people in here. Maybe we got some Nick stands, Here's the question for you guys in the chat. Let's see how many people are going to go on one side or another. Do you think Nick looked objectively strung out on his last streams? Just a yes or no. I want to see you guys in the chat. We got almost 1,000 people. Almost 10,000 people, 9,603. Do you guys in the chat? I want to see, people of the chat. How many of you think that he was strung out, that he looked different, he didn't look good, he looked, bad on those last streams?
I'm just going to show it. Fuck it at this point. I'm just going to show it. So this is the stream that Legal Mindset's talking about currently. This one right here. Okay, let's just see what you think. All right, hold on. Let's play it from the beginning. Now he's claiming he's not winking it. But look at this.
Why is my camera still on?
Like, look at that. Like, that's not strange behavior to you. Like, look how he's doing. He's like biting on his hand. He looks like he's jerking it off and winking with her face. Now he claimed later on in a locals string that no, my hand was just twitching. And when I heard that, I was like, I mean, was it really? I didn't say anything, didn't really give my thoughts on the matter, didn't cover it. But it's like, was it really? Doesn't look like it. Didn't look like it to me. But all right, whatever, dude. There you go. Bringing this back up. Not bad.
Right. And once again, we know that the police watched that. So that is now on the record. Remember, the vagina alcohol stuff, the alcohol coming out of her, squirting alcohol out of her vagina, that's in the search warrant. They watched that entire live stream. That's now a legal fact. That was like something that was.
I didn't even see that. I didn't know any of this. All I heard was like the one time he's like said something bad about her while he was reading his lawsuit. That's just whack.
Like, well, you know, whether they see it or not.
And ironically, I'm pretty sure it was Nick who said, "Hey, whatever you do, don't just talk bad about a lawyer or about the judge handling your case."
No, they've now seen that. That's in the record now. That's in the record. The judge signed that warrant. She probably looked at the evidence. There's not a question of whether or not she knows about it. She never was told about it. Whether she watched it herself, I mean, I would probably say she did. Mr. Ubercrux says, if I was Nick's attorney and tried to get him into treatment, Minnesota has and funds it. It would reduce and eliminate the criminal record and get him clean for his family and best result. I agree. Darth Racer for 777 says, there's no need to support someone just because he may be on the side of the political spectrum. Common sense should be applied. Yes. Exactly. Thank you, Darth Racer. This is what I say. Look, when I go, I know a lot of you guys are just tuning in for Nick, but I'm just going to speak about my coverage in the VTuber. The stands need to understand is that the live streams are considered. Oh no, I got that ready. Sorry, it was Loki. I need to get here for 10. Who said internet personalities are often just that, personalities. Just because you watch someone on YouTube doesn't mean you know them. Yes. Let's finish with the. We're going to finish real quick with the inventory. This is
what we'll end on because he goes into the barn stuff. Yeah.
Just the items that were found, and then I will get a few more chats. Then we're going to move on to Robert Barnes. So right here we've got the body, but then at the end here we've got the sheet. This guy has bad handwriting, but so do I. But this is really
God
bad.
damn.
Here's a signature,
dude. His handwriting is shit. Fuck. When I was watching Andrew's cover of this, I did the same thing I normally do. I put the shit in my pocket and I listened to it while I was doing other things. So it's but yeah, this is some shitty ass handwriting.
He talks about what he's got here: a snort tube of cocaine on the nightstand, a white substance, a black vial, 2 red cards that belong to April Imholt, or credit cards. Sorry, not credit cards, 2 credit cards. What is this? I don't know, a 22 shell casing, a Sig Sauer AR, a glass container, a baggie, a large corner cut bag of cocaine. You've got a baggie, several baggies in the safe. You've got Ziplocs with a substance in there. You've got a digital scale.
Hey, Palm Pluin, whatever your name is, detective. Hey, write in all caps, okay? Let's kindergarten this shit, because what the fuck is this handwriting? I thought my handwriting's bad. Yours is fucked, dude. God damn.
A metal pan, 2 other snort tubes, the famous $100 bill with a white powdery substance. He literally had to do like the Scarface over here. You had to go down there and actually use the $100 bill. You know, he had to go for that, fill in that piece. And then you've got a scooper, 2 baggies, a Springfield Armory 45 1911. That's interesting. A 6 hour 38 magazines, right? Ammunition, a shotgun, a Remington 870. I have an 870, and a bullet for the master closet. So he's got all of this stuff. All this stuff. So that's the inventory that backs up what we saw in the statement of probable cause. So that's what we have for that document. Let's get a couple of these and let's move on to Robert Barnes. because we need to talk about that.
All
If
right,
he's-
that's the end of it. So yeah, we're all done. We're all done. That was his coverage of it. I think he did a very good coverage. I think I'm going to probably just stick with Legal Mindset. He seems to do a far more better coverage. I was originally going with Barnes, but the people what Legal Mindset and his group, I guess, because they did it. I covered it before. I didn't cover all the lords getting on, just strictly covered what he was talking about. But by what they were saying, it kind of, made more sense to me than what Barnes was saying. Basically saying like, yeah, these are arguments, but they're not really good ones to get a search warrant thrown out or anything like that. So, it's just what I thought. Go check it out. Oh shit, I should probably I will have the link of that in the shit. I don't. Okay. Well, in my last show, I do have the links of it both on Rumble, and I will do this on YouTube at the moment. But yeah, so just be on the lookout for that. Check it out. If you want to watch the full thing. There we go. Wonderful. So yeah, God, this isn't looking good for Nick at all. It really isn't. And he's gonna have to, prove. He's trying to do this whole it's a government conspiracy type situation. I don't think that's really flying for people. I don't think people are really buying that. Maybe some hardcore Nick fans are buying it, but I don't think most of us are, or most people are. I think they're like, dude, we saw you on the video whacking it. You're telling us to basically, don't believe our lying eyes, and it's hard not to. So it is what it is. What can you do? So just be, so it's up to you. It's up to you who you believe. I'll continue to cover this. I'll probably go, any updates, maybe arraignments or something Nick says or stuff I'll cover on my own. But when it comes to actually like getting some legal analysis on this, I'll probably head over and check out Legal Mindset when he covers it, because I think he does a far better analysis on the whole thing. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the video. Make sure you give me a like, give me a follow. I've had like 2 new subscribers the last couple days on my YouTube. Really happy about that. I hope you'll come out and follow me on Rumble. But yeah, I hope you have a good day. Peace out, and we'll see you tomorrow. Oh, before I actually go, I will be covering Trump trial day 20 tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that. Check it out. And yeah, we'll go over closing arguments. I don't know what, how long it took or everything. I mean, it took the whole damn day. I don't know why. So, but we'll check that out. So yeah. So again, I hope you all enjoy the video. Make sure you give me a like, give me a follow. Hope you have a good day. Peace out. And I will see you later. Peace.